All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Welcome in, everybody, to the most must-see Sunday night podcast out in the game today. I am your host, Virgil, the former booking world champion. I'm here with another former booking world champion. I'm here with the host of the AEW All Elite Recap Show, my man, my brother from another mother, Sir Claudius. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? It's another day, fourth straight win for my Bears. Oof. You know, I ain't have to call my girl up for some good luck, so that's a good thing. They did what they had to do. I don't know if the Packers lost today. I need to check and see about that one.
You know what? They didn't. I don't think. I think the Packers won. Actually, unfortunately,
well,
I know.
Nevertheless,
yeah, 27-23.
Nevertheless, Bears aren't last in the division, so
nope.
Yeah, we're good.
Listen. Let me tell you something. It's a blessing to have Ben Johnson as your head coach and the things he's been able to do with this offense.
We lose those games. We lose those games in previous years. Now, we lost first week, but it's the Vikings, and they got a good-ass team. But,
yeah,
you know, we will be ready next time we play them. So.
And you know what? And you know what, bro? I really think we will. Like, if you look at the Vikings totals and their numbers and what they've been doing since, bro, like, very beatable. And the Bears are the only team in the NFL that has scored, I think it's over 23 points in all 6 games that they played
21.
so far.
Oh, at least two, definitely 21.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so I mean, we've shown we're able to put up the numbers and we're able to get ourselves in the scoring position a lot, man. So, and Ben Johnson is a freak, man. Like, I know he's going to go back to the drawing board. I know that Vikings game haunts him. He literally said in his press conference today at the podium, he was saying that, you know, the Bears really actually should have put up more points than what they did. But like I said, he said we had to figure out a way to turn those turnovers into points, because the offense didn't hold up their part against the defense. Now, this is a man that won this game. What was the score of this game? 26-14. He felt like we should have put up way more points than 26 points.
Yeah, but the refs had other plans.
That's the type of coach. That's the type of coach I want. That's the type of coach that's not satisfied with the W. If that's Eberflus going up there last year, or if that's Nagy going up there before him, they're going to tip their cap and congratulate everybody and say everybody did a good job. But Ben Johnson isn't satisfied with that, and I think that's where he's different.
Yep. Yeah, so. I agree, man. You know, even after the first 2 losses, like, I mean, you held your head on the fact that, okay, all right, we ain't there yet. And plus, you know, the Vikings and the Lions at this point are like the big brothers right now. So, like, we trying to, you know, we used to be the big brothers back in the day, but now they aren't, you know, now we aren't. So it's almost like, you know, you got to kind of take the route that they've been taking, you know, before they got good again. So, you know, you got to take it week by week. Don't get too high, don't get too low. So, you know, but it's definitely a different feel. Even in the loss, it's a different feel than what we had in previous years. You know,
so. For sure. The tide is changing with the Chicago Bears, and you feel it. You feel it with our coach. You feel it with our GM. You feel it with our CEO and president.
Yep.
Like I said, it just feels different. So I'm not upset about it one single solitary bit. So but yeah, we got some wrestling to talk about too, man. We got to talk first and foremost WrestleDream 2025 came and went, and actually it wasn't too far from us. See, we probably should have been there. But it was WrestleDream this weekend down in St. Louis, Missouri, AEW promotion. And honestly, WrestleDream itself featured 5 championship matches. And like I said, everybody managed to retain their championship and each of the 4 originally announced matches on the card. And then Mercedes Moné, go figure, also ended up retaining her title and putting her title on the line, making it a title versus title match where Mercedes Moné ended up winning another championship as if she needed it. But all in all, man, like I said, I think WrestleDream was another solid booking outing from Tony Khan, man. We both had the opportunity to watch the show. We both caught up on everything. What was your favorite match of WrestleDream?
I would say Darby versus Mox, considering how the history between those two and how how heated the rivalry had gotten between those two. So you got like the heart and soul of AEW versus like this menacing guy, in Jon Moxley, that's trying to, I guess per se, kill, AEW, or the heart and soul of AEW. And so, and we know what happened in years past, with Bryan Danielson, when Mox turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Darby trying to help Danielson, only for the Wheeler Yuta to turn on him, because he was the only one that hadn't turned yet. And
right.
So, and he makes his like shocking turn, and basically, and all that. That's how pretty much the whole history between Darby and them started. And so, fast forward to this year, Darby's return from climbing Mount Everest,
mm-hmm.
and now, and then Bryan Danielson had his return, at All In? Yeah, All In.
Mm-hmm.
And now Bryan Danielson is doing commentary now. So you had the return of Sting, which I'm not shocked, because Sting has been like a mentor to Darby Allin, especially when it comes to the whole being descending from the rafters and all the other stuff, the face paint, and
sure, they were tag team champions too.
Yeah, always having a weapon, coming out with a weapon. In this case, with Darby, is the skateboard, and all these other things now. So, so it's good to see old man Sting with the white hair. It ain't gray; it's all white.
All white, Snow White, man. It's crazy.
I like
white as the walls behind you. It's crazy.
I like to call it the old woman nursing home white.
Wow.
So. But yeah, so it was a great time to see that, and to see Darby actually get a win, over Moxley, because they don't like letting Moxley lose to anybody,
Right.
But now that he ain't got that championship no more, he don't have to win every match. So yeah, so I'm glad Darby got his win. But yeah, that was my favorite match of the night, just based on what it meant, for Darby. So.
Yeah, so I'm gonna list off this match card, which is crazy, because Tony Khan is known as the king of booking 13 matches for one pay-per-view.
Man.
But in this card, we literally had the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand in a Tornadoes Trios match, which was a good match. Then you had the AEW Tag Team Championship match. You had Brodito, which is Bandito and Brody King, versus the Don Callis family. It was Okada and Takashita. And then you had the TNT Championship. You had Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. You had Jamie Hayter versus Thekla. Then you had the Jurassic Express reuniting Jack Perry and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks in their match. And then you had the AEW Women's Championship, Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm. And then you had Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley in the I Quit. And then last but not least, you had Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. I'm just going to go with the obvious. Well, there's a whole slew of other matches in the pre-show, so I should have known Should have known Tony Khan wasn't gonna get away with not booking a shit ton of matches. But anyways,
bro. But did you see how they didn't get done with the pre-show match in time, so it bled into like the beginning production of the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Like you said, that
it was cool that they like they didn't miss a beat though. It just kept going, and then the pyros and shit going off, and then the commentary like literally starts their intro going into it, and it's like we got us a special exclusive starting off the pay-per-view, and basically they just kept doing commentary for the match.
Yep, just kept rolling with it. I like it.
Yeah.
So, you know what it reminded me of? You know what it reminded me of? Back in the WCW Nitro days, when Nitro went 3 hours, they would do pyro every hour when a new hour started, and like it didn't even matter if it was in the middle of a match. Like literally, like you'd be in the middle of like Lex Luger versus Goldberg or something like that. And they would cut to the ramp, and you would just see pyro going off out of nowhere. They're like, "We're in hour number 2 of WCW Nitro," and it's like, bro, like,
yeah, I remember that.
But this is wild. Like, why do you have pyro going off for no reason just because you're hitting hour number 2?
It's scaring the shit out of fans, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I would tell you that my favorite match above all had to definitely be the match between Samoa Joe and the Cowboy himself, Adam Hangman Page, because of the fact I liked how Joe played him at the end, how Joe made it seem like he was going to be the good guy. He's going to raise up his hand. He was going to, like I said, give him props for beating him and everything like that. Nope. Samoa Joe. True.
I was like, based on past history, I was like, I already know what time it is. I'm like,
Yep.
Samoa Joe, man.
Yep. And you really had to figure something was going on when Shibata and Willie Hobbs joined them in the ring, and obviously they then all turned and took turns beating up on Heyman Adam Page. But again, this is another solid outing from Tony Khan, who has quietly stopped responding to people that want to, make him feel bad or make him feel like WWE's coming to take his AEW spot or anything like that. I think Tony Khan has an assurance from TNT and TBS that there will be wrestling. They have a contract, all these other things. So I think he's just free to book, and I'll give him credit. He has not said one stupid thing in about 6 months that made me think that he really cares about what WWE is doing. Like anytime anybody asks him about WWE going head to head with AEW, he just says, I'm really focused on what we're doing here. We have great matches coming up. We have another great show coming up that I'm just trying to focus on putting on the best wrestling possible. And it's making me appreciate and respect Tony Khan in a way that I hadn't in a long time. So
he understands it now. He finally fucking gets it. Like, dude, you don't have to take the bait because that's what they want you to do.
Absolutely.
I'm like, just like take the PC route, the Bill Belichick route. Bill Belichick route. We just trying to, we on to this next one. We just worried about what we got going on in house. Get what they got going on over there. Vince McMahon ain't here. Plus, he ain't on the other side no more. So it's it's Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but it's really TKO. So I mean, they ain't thinking about you. And well, they kind of are, but just do what you do, like, because he has to remember when they first started, they were the new hot thing in town, and they did something that WWE couldn't do. They handled the pandemic a hell of a lot better. Like the story, like the matches, the storyline, the creativeness. Like, now, granted, it helped that they had an entire stadium that is owned by Tony Khan's family. But hey, it is what it is, So, but they made do with what they had, and,
absolutely.
And, the storylines made sense, all that stuff. So they handled things a lot better. So they showed that they can hang, and they can do their own thing. It's just a matter of when they start trying to focus on, the other competition and trying to outdo them, then that's when it really, bites them in the ass. Because at the end of the day, no matter how hard you try, you might catch them on certain weeks. You might get a better pay-per-view than them, here and there. But ultimately, in terms of who's going to be the bigger company, you're never going to be as big as WWE.
No.
It's never going to happen.
Especially now with that ESPN deal. That has skyrocketed them into another stratosphere.
Yeah. And they're too global. They're too global now, man. And then they got especially with them being under the umbrella with TKO, with UFC, another global brand, it's over. Like the only thing they can try to do is and then with the TNA partnership too. So it's just it's a lot that WWE has an advantage over them, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that they can tuck their tails and run and just accept the fact, all right, we ain't gonna be we're not gonna be better than them, so let's just kill the company altogether. No, don't be WCW.
Yep.
Continue to do what you're doing. TNA lasted all these years before they joined forces with WWE. Y'all do what y'all do. Y'all join forces with New Japan and all these other companies. Hey, y'all, the possibilities are endless. Just keep doing what y'all do. Y'all got the resources. Y'all got multi-billionaires, running things over there. Y'all got all the sources. Y'all got all the connects. Y'all have no reason to fold like WCW ever.
Yep. No, I mean, like I said, and you're honestly better. Sure, WCW had the NWO gimmick. So like I said, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that was the hottest thing that they did. AEW has better match quality than anything I think I ever saw in WCW. And I really believe, like I said, they don't have the star magnitude of what Goldberg meant and what Hulk Hogan meant to WCW. Right. But outside of that, I mean, they got everything else. Everything else. So, but yeah, man, we're speaking of which, we need to talk about who to watch for in wrestling. All right, so who to watch for in wrestling this week? I have two names that I'm thinking about. Both of them are NXT standouts. One is obviously a part of the SmackDown roster now, who just made his year return and opened and answered Sami Zayn's open challenge this last Friday night on SmackDown. We have been clamoring for him. We actually thought he would end up showing up at SummerSlam, which is crazy enough that Triple H was able to hold him off all the way until October. But we do have a new United States champion. His name is Ilya Dragunov, and he did his thing. Not only did he put on a stellar match with Sami Zayn, which I do expect them probably to do another match together, but at the same time, he came back. He has a brand new neck tattoo. And dude, like I said, he was as energetic as ever. The match itself was fire. He gave Sami Zayn the best match he's had in his United States Open Challenge. And again, a couple false finishes and just all the way around, just a really, really, really good match for him. Super happy for Ilya. I know how hard he worked to get back from injury, and they purportedly have big plans for him moving forward. So Triple H going with some of the movement. We're about to see some of these NXT guys that Triple H had before he got sick really start to take off. You see Carmelo Hayes, they're ending this stuff with the Miz. You see that, like I said, you see they finna jolt him to the next level. My presumption, him and Trick are probably going to both be SmackDown bound here real soon together, which is why I think they had them two partner together at the NXT homecoming to kind of gauge what fans' interest would be in seeing them two hash out their problems and join back together. So wouldn't mind seeing them two in a tag team. And then, like I said, you're going to see some of the women from NXT also get call-ups here soon too. Some of the ones that have been long-standing NXT women. Just try to freshen things up. I think Triple H and the creative teams are ready to freshen things up on the major brands. So you see that, and shout out to the other person that we want to talk about, and that's Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is the new number one contender to JC Jane's NXT championship. She left them, did her own thing. And she is now going to fight JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship, which I think will be a great match. I'm excited for her to get that opportunity, and we're going to see what happens with it. So that's who to watch for in wrestling. Yeah, so see back from who to watch for in wrestling, and one thing we have to talk about, this has been all over the news, and we have to bring it up here because of Seth Rollins' injury. Seth Rollins injured himself apparently in his match against Cody Rhodes. You know, it's kind of like the death bite between those two. Anytime you put those two together, they do a bunch of crazy stunts, a bunch of crazy moves that end up costing them some time off of their careers. Obviously, Cody got injured wrestling Seth, and now Seth got injured wrestling Cody, and both of them are in the prime parts of their runs as they get injured. It's kind of crazy. It's a weird scenario, these two, how they're intertwined together. Unfortunately, though, Seth is pretty much guaranteed to miss some time. They're hoping, from what Dave Meltzer reported, they're hoping that he is going to he's definitely going to need surgery from everything that we've heard. He's definitely going to need surgery, but they're hoping that he could potentially be back by WrestleMania to fight at WrestleMania this coming year. So again, Adam Pearce is set to provide an update on Rollins this upcoming Monday night on Raw. So, you know, we'll all be tuned in for that. Make sure you guys tune in for the Raw Dog Monday night show hosted by Coach and Big Daddy C after Monday Night Raw goes off the air, so you can get all the latest and greatest and all the updates on what's going on with that. But yeah, man, super sad situation. Seth Rollins is really just starting to hit his groove on top of the world. And then, like I said, gets taken out by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker walks off with his World Heavyweight Championship over his shoulder. And it looks like Seth Rollins is probably going to miss November. We're halfway through October now, so November, December, January, February, March, April, so about 6 months with the potential of maybe showing up at Mania. The big question though is we need a World Heavyweight Champion. Who should be the World Heavyweight Champion in your estimation? See,
Put it on Braun.
Really?
Yeah. Like, for one, Jay had his time. They looking to do some stuff with, I guess, maybe him and Jimmy and Roman possibly. So I imagine that's what's going to happen down the line.
Sure.
Punk, probably him and Braun will be fighting for the championship.
Sure.
You know, LA Knight in the mix there. But ultimately, I say strike while the iron is hot. Put that title on Braun, man. He already had his IC title run.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. And so, look, man, he's one of the most believable guys to be champion. You know, and I can see him holding that championship probably until WrestleMania, or possibly keeping it through WrestleMania. You know. Have Seth come back. I don't know if it'd be as a face to face him or not, but we'll see how that plays out. But I say put the title on him now, man. Instead of trying to wait. Don't do what you did with LA Knight and wait, and then miss the boat. And then when people start to come back or get called up, then throw them to the wayside again. So
yeah.
And I think that's what happened with LA Knight, because I'm pretty sure before CM Punk came back, that was in the plans for him to be a champion,
Right.
Then Cody Rhodes happened, and all this other stuff, and then it was just like, I know they keep trying to do it, they keep trying to give him that moment or tease us with the possibility of him winning it, but I think now you got to put it on Braun Breaker, man. Now I don't know how that would impact him and Bronson Reed as a tag team, because obviously, it's almost like you repeating the same situation where, all right, there's one guy as a champion, another guy as his partner, and then, eventually I'm pretty sure Bronson Reed gonna want to try to get a crack at the championship.
Sure.
And, and so that's the only like downside to putting the title on Braun Breaker right now, because you don't want to mess up the tag team and chemistry, all that other stuff. So, but yeah, I would say either him or Punk. Obviously, despite Rollins cashing in the first time, that Punk did get a championship win. But I think one of those two. I think, but I think Jay's time is come and gone as a champion, world champion.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight, I feel like they missed the boat with him. But if they can't, not to say that they can't put him on, they can't put it on him. I think he have to be a heel before they do, because I feel like he'll still be over as a heel, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to execute it right, So we'll see what happens though. But I think Braun Breaker would be the best option.
So I came on here ready to pound the pavement about LA Knight, but the way you just presented the reasoning for Braun Breaker, you kind of won me over. I don't hate the thought process of it, and really giving Braun Breaker the Brock Lesnar rub. And you know what I mean by that? Like don't waste him and how hot he is on mid-card titles or useless feuds. Right. I mean, Brock Lesnar came in, he immediately went for the WWE Championship. He won King of the Ring, and he immediately won the WWE Championship, and it was off to the races from there. And him leaving and coming and doing UFC only made him more believable as an athlete and an ass kicker when he came back. And then him leaving this time and then coming back in even better shape only leads you to wonder what's next for him. Plus, you could easily put Braun Breaker versus Brock. So to me, the way I look at things, LA Knight's a great talker. Great, which is fine. But you put somebody like Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar, that's a WrestleMania main event right there. And you put Paul Heyman in between the middle of them. That's WrestleMania written all over it. That's money. That's cash. And Braun could actually beat Brock. Brock will put Braun over, establishing Braun as that new guy.
Yep.
I don't hate it one single solitary bit. Mm-hmm. I don't. I like where your mind is headed. I still do wish, and I feel bad for LA Knight because he is a fan favorite and the crowd absolutely loves him. But I mean, there's no harm in being United States champion. There's no harm in being the Intercontinental champion. Some guys, like I said, and then it ain't no harm in just being a backup. I wouldn't hate if LA Knight is just a guy that, like I said, that you could look for and he could be like a backup in case a guy gets injured or something happens. Like I said, then you could throw the title on him. I really feel like that's the way they need to go with Sami Zayn too. I saw a lot of people saying like Sami Zayn lost the United States Championship. That was his test run. Now they're going to try to make him WWE champion. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, it ain't the route to go. I don't think Sami Zayn is a believable world heavyweight or WWE champion. He's not somebody that I want to be WWE champion. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think Sammy, he'd probably be more believable as a world heavyweight champion as opposed to the WWE champion, because I don't see him beating Cody. And yeah, I just don't see him beating Cody. Because Cody, like I said, Cody has the fact that Cody has already beaten Roman, he's beaten John Cena, he's beaten the best of the best.
Beating Brock, beating everybody. Yeah.
Him losing to Sami Zayn, like, I feel like it ain't gonna hurt his career, obviously, but it's just like the logic in it just wouldn't seem right to me. But I just want to touch one more point on LA Knight.
Sure.
Them putting the Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins pretty much was the last. That was it. That ruined everything for LA Knight, because that was the moment to actually put that, to get LA Knight his championship.
Sure.
Giving him the Money in the Bank, because that's pretty much a freebie, you know, and then he can cash in on whoever, and then go from there. So I think that was the last moment they had to really get it done. Now, like, you know, I get it, the whole thing with him and CM Punk, you know, anything can happen, but yeah, that Money in the Bank call was pretty much the last good opportunity. The window closed, like, in that moment for me. But with Sammy, yeah, I don't know. Like, I really don't want him winning the Royal Rumble, but part of me feels like they are going to have him win it. And then we know where WrestleMania is going to be at.
Yeah.
And he's going whatever championship they have him go out there, he's going to win it at that WrestleMania. So he pretty much is almost, it's a guarantee, as Vince McMahon used to say. It's a guarantee. So but yeah, I would like to see him. Now, I don't think Cody's going to have the championship by WrestleMania.
Okay.
So that means Drew McIntyre will be the one to have that championship. I think Drew will possibly have the championship at WrestleMania. And then you can have Sammy go against Drew. And we know the history between those two guys.
Yeah.
And so you can reignite the rivalry and then have that culminate at WrestleMania, and then have Sammy get his win and his revenge on Drew McIntyre.
It's almost weird to think about, but what would you do with a WrestleMania where literally Cody Rhodes isn't in the WWE title picture? Like, to me, like, that's just like freeing him of that opens up so many more possibilities.
I know
like,
what him and Orton, they teasing it. They've been teasing it. I think we're on the verge of getting him versus Orton.
I'm with it. I'm here for
now,
it.
the question is, who is going to be heel? Are they going to turn Cody heel, or are they going to turn Orton heel? Like, that's where we got to figure things out, because we've been wanting to see Cody be heel and have the whole Homelander gimmick for a hot minute. But at the same time, we know how great Orton is as a heel.
Yeah.
And you have a great heel
Orton, bro.
Face, it works, you know. So, and we saw what happened Friday night.
Right.
Cody, which is a rarity, he basically gets himself disqualified, you know, in an impromptu WWE Championship match.
Right.
And I don't know if you heard it, but there were some boos. There were some boos rumbling through that crowd. Now, I don't know if they were because I did watch, that was the highlights I watched.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they infused the highlights in there or what, but infused the boos in there. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, it might have been a little teaser there for Cody turning heel. So
the way I look at it is they teased the Cody heel turn with John Cena when John Cena turned back face and Cody needed to do whatever he could to get back to the WWE Championship. I don't think we're there just yet. I think life's circumstances or the writing is going to push Cody Rhodes into a heel turn. Like, life circumstances is going to be too much for him. But I do like Randy turning on him. I do like Randy, you know, him and Randy going one-on-one in a match. I do like the thought of that. I also like the thought of him versus Jay. You know, I also like the thought of him versus CM Punk. You know, it's a lot. I mean, it's 2 nights. It's 2 nights to WrestleMania, so it's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
But him versus Orton is going to be.
So apparently there was that segment where what's his face got like hurt, or taken out per se, because him and Drew had got into it early on in the night.
Right, Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu, yeah. And then you see him laid out and like little bits of teeth got knocked out of him or whatever. And a lot of people speculate maybe Cody Rhodes is the one that attacked him. Like that would be. I'm like, I could see it, but considering the fact that Jacob and Drew had just brawled prior to,
right,
it wouldn't surprise me that Drew got his get back. So like,
right,
and
see,
it would be random for Cody.
My mind went immediately to the MFTs when all that happened. But like I said, like I said, I mean, my mind went immediately to the MFTs because that's a predictable route to go back to the MFTs and be like, we got Savage on him, because he took us out, and then you put him in Solo. So Solo's gonna eventually beat Ilya for the United States Championship, and then you have your WrestleMania match right there. You got Solo versus Sir Jacob for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. Like I said, because these WrestleMania plans, guys, for everybody that's wondering why in October we're talking about WrestleMania, it's because now is when those plans are getting finalized. That's why this whole Seth Rollins thing is such a huge thing that we're talking about here, his injury, because it literally changes the course of WrestleMania completely. Like, what does Roman do now? Because Roman was supposed to face Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. What do you do with Roman now? Is it Roman versus Braun? At WrestleMania, do you still put the title on Roman? Do you have Braun lose the title to the big dog, or do you allow yourself to crown the new face of WWE with Braun beating Roman Reigns and being able to walk out on Monday Night Raw the next night and say he took out Roman Reigns?
Right.
What do you do with Cody? Do you keep Cody on SmackDown as face SmackDown? Do you move him over to Raw? Like I said, what becomes of Jay and Jimmy? What becomes of Brock Lesnar? Like, there's so much that's intertwined, so many different plans. I still think you're going to see Bronson Reed versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be.
Do we have to put Brock against another big super heavyweight dude again?
Yes.
Like, do we have to keep doing this?
Yes, you do.
We already had to like have witness him go against Omar's big ass. So like, why we gotta?
I was there for that WrestleMania.
Man, like, why we gotta have him go against Maui? That's what I call Bronson Reed, Maui from Moana. Like, why we gotta see this, man? Like, come on, man. Brock gonna win.
Yes, he is gonna win.
Like Brock is gonna win. That's all it is. You gotta make Brock look strong, and that's all. Hey, he gonna win. So that I don't want to see that, man.
We actually kind of bled over into the next topic. But I did want your thoughts on should WWE pull the trigger on doing on allowing Drew to beat Cody for the WWE title, which I think you've already given kind of your thoughts, but go ahead and reiterate again. Like, you think Drew's beating Cody for the WWE Championship?
I mean, man, come on, man. How many times y'all gonna keep doing Drew dirty, man? Like, every time he the one that won the championship, he gets screwed over.
Yeah.
And so, like, it all started at Mania, Mania 40. He beat Seth, and then immediately he gloating, and then like CM Punk knocks him down on the announce table. Priest cashes in, and then you don't even allow Drew to actually knock off Priest to get the championship back. Like, you have Priest beat him once or twice, clean. Like, and then fast forward to the other times he got championship opportunities. You had him lose again. And then the one time he actually got close to winning, and you had CM Punk come out there as a special guest referee and cost him the championship.
Yep.
Money in the Bank, same thing. CM Punk comes out there, attacks him. Cost him the Money in the Bank match. Like, it's like every single time he comes out there, then here comes Friday, same thing. Disqualification. He wins the match, but he'll win the title.
Yep.
So it's like every time he sniffs a championship or even wins it, he gets screwed over. And I'm like, come on, man, Drew got to have a nice, successful title run that's not during the pandemic.
At least one more, guys. At least
Yeah,
one
the
more.
pandemic, you can't even count the pandemic because he beat Brock Lesnar with no fans around, bro.
Right.
Like they were at the damn
PC.
they were at the PC, the Performance Center. They weren't even
Yep.
they even had a Thunderdome yet.
Nope.
So
Nope.
like it, and then it's just like the whole run. He's like having he won against Orton. That was probably his best feud, honestly. Him and Orton going back and forth, swapping the title. Like he drops it to Orton, he wins back from Orton. Blah blah blah. So like outside of that feud, everything else is garbage. And so it's just like, man, we need to have Drew. He deserves a successful title run. Like at least a good 2 or 3 months, man. Like, come on, man. Like we gotta do this man right, man, before he decides to hang him up. So
for sure
he's paid his dues in the company.
No, I'm 100% right there with you. I agree 110%. I think it's high time that you give Drew the WWE Championship and allow him to be your guy with that WWE title for a little bit, at least until Mania. And then it gives you time to build up somebody that can realistically beat him for the WWE Championship, and it don't have to be Cody Rhodes. And you get multiple WWE Championship matches out of it. With him rematches out of it with him and Cody Rhodes. I have the sneaky suspicion though that they are going to save Sami Zayn for 2026. When WrestleMania goes to Saudi Arabia and he will win the World Heavyweight Championship there. Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion CM Punk is going to win the Elimination Chamber in Chicago and face Drew for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Oh no!
Yep. We running it back, baby. One more time.
Oh man!
One more time.
Yeah. You know what? If that was the backup plan, I wouldn't mind saying that because the feud with CM Punk and Drew was money this over the summer, like spring going into summertime. Like that was money.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, man, like you said they trying to do things fresh. I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of fresh faces, in the mix, for the championship, So
yeah,
absolutely. And we can't forget about Gunther. Gunther gonna be coming back soon. He gonna want his championship back.
It's true.
So we know he gonna be in the mix trying to. Hey, him and Braun. Hey, that's another money maker on the rise too, man.
That's true for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Bruh,
that's not a bad match at all. I like that.
He's the one of few people. One of maybe 2 or 3 people that has beaten him over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
So you got Punk, Sammy, Jay, and Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov. I think there might be the only 5 that have beaten Gunther since he's been in the company. So,
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. Gunther's been out, and I actually feel like Triple H does the scheduling like that for a reason.
Yeah.
So that you do almost forget about the superstars until they come back, and then you're like, oh snap, I totally forgot about Gunther.
Yep. And like I said, I don't know if he come. I think he'll come back as face, honestly. But with Gunther, it don't seem like he's more of a face. Like I feel like I always thought of Gunther as like a tweener. Like
sure,
he has heelish tendencies, but like he has more. He shows respect for his opponent at the same time. Like he just trying to prove to everybody he better than you. Like and he'll throw out some insults here and there, but for the most part, I always thought he's like a tweener, just with some heelish tendencies. But for the most part, he tried to kick everybody's ass.
Yep, absolutely.
Whether you
It don't matter who you are.
it don't matter. It don't matter.
He don't discriminate on the ass whoopings. It's whoever wanted, they can come get it.
Yep, not at all. Yep.
All right, y'all. So it's time for our final segment, our favorite segment of the evening. It's time for Frito's Fave 5.
Frito's Favorite 5. Sponsored by nobody.
Yet. All right, Virgil, hit my music. Yes, Fritos. Just pop this in. I'm excited to talk to you guys about these Fave 5 right here. Here's my favorite 5 superstars. First and foremost, for being able to make the unthinkable happen, he made Jon Moxley say he quits. He also brought back Papa Steen. That's right. We're going to go with the number 5 spot to Darby Allin. That's right. Not only did he climb Mount Everest, but he also made Jon Moxley say he quit. And not a lot of people can say that they've accomplished both those things. Number 4, we're going to go with Solo and his MFTs. We see an impending battle, probably a War Games match, going up against the Wyatt Six. And let me tell you something, Solo and his MFTs have looked stronger than ever. Love the booking around them. Love the face paint, now that we know the story behind it. And I appreciate the fact that Solo still looks strong and looks like the MFTs are going to take over SmackDown. At the number 3 spot, we have Mike Santana. That's right. Who is Mike Santana? He is your TNA World Champion right now. He beat Trick Williams at Bound for Glory last week, and he is now your TNA World Champion, bringing that TNA Championship back over to TNA, out of NXT and out of the clutches of WWE. Great job, Mike Santana. Great way to be the leader of TNA. Next up, we have Braun Breaker. That's right. Why do I say Braun Breaker? Because Braun Breaker breaks everything and breaks everyone. And this week, he broke Seth freaking Rollins in half with the spear, and then not only did he convince Bronson Reed, but he also convinced Paul Heyman to join his side. Can't wait to see what they talk about on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. And then last but not least, guys, making his return after a year-long odyssey of being injured, we got to give it to Ilya Dragunov. He came in and put on a stellar match against Sami Zayn, and they knocked it out the park. And of course, Ilya Dragunov, which we heard that it was Sami Zayn's call to actually drop the championship to Ilya Dragunov also. So it was a great call by Sami Zayn, drop the title. Ilya Dragunov is going to make the United States Championship mean something. Hopefully he keeps the United States Championship open challenge going, because it's the best thing going on SmackDown. And this has been another Fritos Fave 5. Yeah. All right, C. What would you rate that Fave 5?
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think Braun being number 2 and Ilya being number 1 pretty much was a good way to round it out. So yeah, I give it an A+.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the We Book It podcast. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe to the pod channel. Thank you so much, C, for joining me on tonight's episode. Man, it's always a pleasure to get together with you and talk wrestling. Hopefully we get more of the fellas back as the week goes along, but we'll see what happens with that. Outside of that, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys that are tuned in to this episode. Make sure that you guys stay tuned. Next episode will be your Raw Dog Monday nights, hosted by Sir Claudius and Coachman. Appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, peace.